welcome everybody to Fairbury for tonight's NARC non-wing 410 sprint cars. This is Esports Racing Network. My name is Thomas Brennan, and thank you very much for joining me. As like I said, we are week number 2 of the NARC non-wing 410 sprint cars series. Good turnout for tonight's event. Very strong field, as 2 of the cars right now on the track for hot laps. Definitely 2 cars to keep an eye on. Last week's winner at Bristol, Denny Sanson in the number 80, and then also in the number 90 car, Joe Quinn, who's always fast in these non-wing cars. So gonna be a fun night tonight. Anytime we got the non-wings running, it's always fun. These are by far my favorite cars on the sim. Probably my favorite cars in all of racing in dirt. I love them. I absolutely love them. And when you can pack 24 of them on a quarter-mile bull ring like Fairbury, like we're going to have tonight in the feature, it's always a fun experience. So, going to be interesting to see what happens tonight on the track. So, wrapping up hot laps here. We should be done any second, and we will dive into qualifying. And hop over and look at the other cars running some hot laps right now. Stout field, very stout field. Gonna be interesting to see. As right now, fast laps mid 11s in the non-wing cars. So take a look at some qualifying times here as Rusty Kruger hits the track for his qualifying run. And Kruger lays down an 11.962. 11.962. That will put him P6. Fast time is right now Joe Quinn with an 11.60, and he was just taken by Craig Sheeran with an 11.5. Man, he laid down a heater, followed by Joe Quinn. Brandon Garman, awesome qualifying run by Brandon Garman. Brandon Garman is a driver that has improved so much over the last 6 months. It's been incredible. It really has been. Brandon races every car class in NARC, and he's gotten good at it. I mean, he really has. It doesn't matter if it's late models, midgets, wing sprints, non-wings, and you can see it. Right? He's qualified 5th in a stacked field. I mean, he is up there with some of the best non-wing drivers on the sim. So definitely a good run for Brandon Garman. See if he can follow it up with a good run in the heat race. After Garman, we've got Larry Foster in 6th. Tyler Shell qualifying 7th. Alex Clute 8th. Bruce Klingen in 9th. And it looks, 10th. Somebody just got knocked down. Oh, of course. Our man, Pete Codovara. Always late when it comes to qualifying. Lays down a heater. Codovara slips up into the top 5 there. So Sheeran, Sansone, Rowley, Quinn, Codovara, your top 5 in qualifying, followed by Garman, Foster, Shell, Clute, and Klingen. So those are your top 10 qualifiers for the night. Looks like we got 18, 19 cars in total. For tonight's show, so that should give us, it looks like 3 heat races. We'll be taking the top 4 from each heat race. Everybody will be making the feature tonight. Normally we have a 24 car field, so everyone will be making tonight. The top 4 will make it straight to the feature. Everybody else will run the consolation, which will just basically determine starting position. So, heat race number 1, rating up here at the Fairbury American Legion Speedway, and starting on the pole with the fastest qualifying lap of the night is Craig Sherham in the number 72 car. Outside of Sherham is the number 90 of Joe Quinn. Inside of row 2 is the number 15 of Larry Foster. Outside of Foster is the number 21 of Bruce the Boss Klingon. Inside of row number 3, we have Justin Sherman in the 87 car, and outside of Sherman is TJ Skymie in the number 75, and not gridding up is Todd LaBaube. So LaBaube did not make the race, and we are under green, and Sherman with a heck of a jump. It's out in front early over Joe Quinn, followed by Larry Foster, Bruce Klingon, Sherman, and Skymie. Sherman running right up on the cushion right now, cutting down, coming out of the corner. Quinn running the top, trying to get close to try and make a pass, but the track right now is really hooked up and tacky as Sherman goes down to the bottom, pulls up half a straightaway lead over second place Joe Quinn, followed by Foster and Klingon in that 4th and final transfer spot. You're running right through the middle. Got a decent lead over second place Joe Quinn, and Bruce Klingon making the move to the outside of Larry Foster, looking to step up one spot in the feature and gets a heck of a run out of turn 4 as Foster picks up the front wheels, and that's going to give Klingon the 3rd place position here in heat race number 1 as we come down to just 2 laps to go. And back up front, we've got Craig Sherham over Joe Quinn. Quinn's caught him. He's caught up a little bit, looking to make a move to the inside. Don't know if he's going to get the run as Sherham pulls back ahead. As we come down to the white flag, it's Sherham, Quinn, Klingon, and battling for that 4th and final transfer spot is Skymie and Sherman as Skymie goes around the top. Oh no, and it looks like he runs out of fuel or the car breaks or something. Oh man, that is a bummer. All right. So good heat race number 1 there to get things kicked off, as heat race number 2 is now gridding up. And we've got on the pole last week's winner at Bristol in the NARC non-wing 410 sprint cars is Vinny Sansone in the number 80 car. Outside of Sansone is going to be the number 59 of Pete Codovara. Inside of row number 2 is the driver of Tyler Shell. That's right, Gumby, starting on the inside of row number 2. And most of you probably don't know who that is, but inside joke. But anyways, outside of row number 2 is Rylan Gray. Inside of row number 3 is Cale Halbert. And outside of Halbert in the 89 car is Mace Herman. So 6 cars in heat race number 2. Top 4 will go straight to the feature. 10-lap heat race as Sansone will lead them down. Like I said, Sansone, last week's winner at Bristol, and he put on a clinic. He was screaming around the top at Bristol last week. Made it look easy and had a very impressive win at Bristol last week. Looking to back it up this week here at Fairbury. So, Sansone, Codovara come down. Green flag is out, and Codovara gets a good jump there. Stays with the leader, but Sansone slides up in front, gets the lead as Codovara cuts underneath and throws a slider of his own, as you've got Sansone, Codovara, and Tyler Shell all battling there. Throw a blanket over him, heading into turn 3. Battling for the lead. As Shell gets a little loose, loses some momentum. That allows Codovara and Sansone to pull away. As Codovara got now a decent-sized lead here over second place, Vinny Sansone heading into lap number 4. Codovara runs the bottom at one of the best drivers I've ever seen run the bottom at any track. It's so smooth, so good, and when he does it, man, and he nails it, he's just fast. And right now, as you can see, he's running it just perfectly. As he's slowly pulling away, second place, Vinny saying, "Oh, and I just cursed him. I just cursed him." Broadcaster's curses. I just sat there and talked about how good he was doing. Slight bobble, and that gives the lead back to Vinny Sansone. Codovara's coming back with 3 laps to go. Excuse me, 3 laps to go. Dang, lap counter, slow. And Shell picks up the front end with an insane run in that corner and was somehow able to hold on to it and not take him at self or Codovara out of the race. That was insane. So, your leader, Vinny Sansone, in first with a commanding lead now over second place. Steve Terry, Codovara, followed by Tyler Shell in third, and then Rylan Gray in that fourth and final transfer spot as we come down to the last lap. Sansone into turn 3, up on the top, and he's going to win it. Heat race number 2. Your winner is Vinny Sansone, followed by Pete Codovara, Tyler Shell, and Rylan Gray in the fourth and final transfer spot. All right. So, heat race number 3 is now gridding up. And on the pole for heat race number 3, on the inside of row number 1, from New Paris, Ohio, elbows up Sim Sport, is Billy Rowley in the 79 car. Outside of Rowley is Brandon Garmin. Row 2 on the inside is Alex Clute in the number 14 car. And outside of Clute, from Loomis, California, in the Swindell Speed Lab, is Rusty Kruger. And then inside of row number 3, we have Kyle Matson. And outside of Matson is Devin Thompson. All right, Pace Truck is off. Third and final heat race. Rowley and Garmin bring them down. Top 4 straight to the feature. Rowley takes the green, and we are underway, and he jumps out to an early lead over Brandon Garmin, Alex Clute, and Rusty Kruger. Kruger making a move to the outside of Brandon Garmin there, as he is battling for that second place position up on the cushion, as our leader Billy Rowley gets a little loose coming out of turn 2. That allows Kruger to close up on him, get a run, making a play at the lead here in heat race number 3 at Fairbury. Rowley up on the top, Kruger down low, and it looks like Rowley's just got too much of a run coming out of the corner, as he's just mashing that cushion right now, flying around the top. So Rowley Kruger, Clute, and Madsen in our... Oh, and something just happened as Alex Clute pulls to the inside and off the track. That's going to cost him a transfer spot to the feature. So now it's Kyle Madsen in third and Devin Thompson in the fourth and final transfer spot, followed by Brandon Garmin. Garmin had a little bit of bad luck there at the start of the heat race and is falling back to fifth place. Back up front. Oh, and Rowley just caught the wall in turn two. He flips over. That's going to end his heat race. Luckily for him, he will be back in the feature because everybody's making it tonight, but that's going to give the lead over to Rusty Kruger, and he has a sizable lead over second place Kyle Madsen at the moment. So here on lap number 9, it's Rusty Kruger, Kyle Madsen, Devin Thompson, and Brandon Garmin now in that fourth and final transfer spot, as Rowley and Clute both had some bad luck here in heat race number 3. And last lap as Kruger comes through turns 3 and 4 and takes the checkered flag. Heat race number 3 winner, a Rusty Kruger, followed by Kyle Madsen, Devin Thompson, Brandon Garmin in your fourth and final transfer position. All right, it is B main time. 7 cars here in the B main, and starting on the pole will be DJ Skyme in the number 75 car. Outside of Skyme in the number 58 is Cale Heilbut. Inside of row number 2 from New Paris, Ohio, Billy Rowley of Elbows Up Sim Sport. Outside of Rowley, starting 4th, is Justin Sherman. Starting in the 5th position is Mace Herman, and outside of him is Alex Clute in the number 14 car. And starting in the 7th position, bringing up the rear, is Todd LeBow in the number 94. So 7 cars. Everybody will make it to the feature. 10-lap consolation, and what you're basically racing for here is starting position. That's what you're looking for. You're looking to improve your starting spot in the A main. Track just starting to slick off a little bit. Still fairly tacky for Fairbury. Fairbury is one of those tracks that can slick off really, really fast. And right now, it's not too bad, but it will definitely get there. So, Skyme, Alba, your top 2, bringing us down, and green flag, and we are underway as Skyme jumps out to the lead with Heilbut behind, Rowley and Sherman into turn number 2 down the backstretch as Skyme up on the cushion pulls a nice lead over second place Justin Sherman now, followed by third place Billy Rowley and Cale Heilbut in the 4th position. But it is Skyme out front, up top, with about a 6 to 8 car length lead over second place Sherman. But Billy Rowley there in the 3rd place car, keep an eye on him. He was fast in his heat race. Had he not just tapped that wall, he probably would have won it. So keep an eye on him. He is definitely fast in these cars as he looks to the inside of Justin Sherman on lap number 4. Rowley goes down low once again, trying to get a run. The top is just a little too fast right now. If you're going to make that bottom stick, you got to really get a run or really hook that bottom right above the tires. Rowley's trying, he just cannot get that run on Sherman down that front stretch. He's getting closer and closer each lap. But Sherman's running that top and making it work. This time Rowley makes a 60, slides up to the top. Now he's on the cushion, Sherman down low. Billy Rowley takes over the 2nd place position here in your B main. So Skyme's up front, number 75 car, followed by Billy Rowley, Justin Sherman, and Todd LeBow, who started last in the B main, is now up to 4th in the 94 car there. running the bottom, and he's making it work. This is definitely a good opportunity, since everybody's making it to the feature, to use this time on the track to get yourself figured out for that A main event. Oh, and Skymie gets into the lapper of Mace Herman. Slows him down just a little bit, but not that much, as Skymie holds on to win the NARC Non-Wing 410 B main here at Fairbury. All right, now it's time for the warm-up, and they're going to be running it in tonight. Only 18 cars. The track has not gotten all that slick, so this is going to give these guys a chance to run the track in, get it a little bit more racy, hopefully work into grooves so they can pass some people in the 30-lap feature that we've got coming up. Fastest car on the track right now is Tyler Shell with a 12.227. He looks to be the one car who's really working that bottom. He's got it running. Go on board with Tyler Shell. You can just hear the throttle as he smacks the wall. Once again, broadcaster's curse. I gotta stop talking about these guys, man. Every time I do, they end up in the wall. All right, your starting grid for tonight's NARC 30-lap A main event in the non-wing 410 sprint cars presented by the School of Sim Racing is now gridding up. And on the pole, in the number 90 car, is Joe Quinn. Outside of Quinn, in the number 80 car, last week's winner at Bristol, Vinny Sansone. Starting third on the inside of row number 2 from Loomis, California, and the Swindell Speed Lab team is Rusty Kruger. Outside of Kruger from Elbows Up Sim Sport is Bruce Klingen in the number 21 car. Starting fifth in row number 3 is Peter Cotavara, and outside of Cotavara is Kyle Matson in the number 17. Inside of row number 4 is Craig Sherham in the number 72, and outside of him, starting 8th, is Tyler Shell. In row number 5 on the inside is Devin Thompson. With outside of him, we have Larry Foster. Starting 11th is Rylan Gray, and to his outside is Brandon Garman. Then we have TJ Skymie and Billy Rowley, followed by Justin Sherman, Todd LaBalve, Alex Kloop, Cale Halbert, and Mace Herman, and we are underway for 30 laps here at Fairbury in the non-wing 410 sprint cars. And Joe Quinn jumps out to an early lead over Vinny Sansone and Rusty Kruger as these guys are trying to get split, find their lines, and it's chaos in the back as we finish lap number 1, and it's Quinn followed by Sansone and Kruger battling for second place as Cotavara and Klingen both join the party for the second place position. Quinn, Sansone, Kruger, Cotavara, and Klingen, your top 5. They down the front stretch into turn 1. Quinn up on the wall, and he taps the wall with his right rear. That's going to open the door for Vinny Sansone as Sansone now dives to the bottom, tries to get a run, but Quinn holds on to it up top, gets back around Sansone, and retakes the lead.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
And we've got a caution on the track. Looks like that is Brandon Garman who slowed down, had a problem. Yeah, not sure what caused the caution there. All right, lights are out on the pace truck. As we have completed 5 of 30, it's Joe Quinn, Vinny Sansone, Rusty Cruz, Cedric Cotavara, and Bruce Clean in your top 5 as we are back under green. Quinn goes right back up to the top, followed by Sansone, Kruger, and Cotavara on the bottom, trying to make it work. 3 wide through turns 3 and 4 as Cotavara, Kruger, and Sansone battle for that second place position.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution
and
is out.
we've got another caution on the track. All right, so seven down, 23 to go in this 30-lap A main event. Joe Quinn is still in the lead, followed by Vinny Sansone, Rusty Kruger, Pete Cotavara, and Bruce Klingen.
Green, green, green.
Quinn gets a good run into turn 1, followed by Sansone. Cotavara and Kruger get together. Kruger gets loose. Cotavara saves it. They bump in the corner. Everybody gets through away clean,
right,
and
man,
that's going to give,
oh
my goodness, and Joe Quinn just hit the wall. Look at that again. Joe Quinn just got up into the wall, caught the wall, and wrecked. And that didn't even look like he actually hit it. It actually looked like netcode, which is really a bummer. So that's going to give the lead over to Vinny Sansone.
All right, man. Lights are back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
All right, so lights are out. Sansone is your leader, followed by Kruger, Cotavara, Bruce Klingen, and Tyler Shell. That is your top 5. As Sansone brings them down, we are back under green. Sansone, Kruger, Cotavara up top as Tyler Shell on the bottom gets around Bruce Klingen and takes over that 4th place position as he is the only car down there right now. As Kruger goes for the slide job to take the lead, he gets in front of Sansone as Sansone tries to cut underneath and doesn't make it work. So Rusty Kruger, your new leader here on lap number 10, followed closely by Vinny Sansone, Pete Codovara and Tyler Schell. Kruger slides up the track just a little bit. That opens the door as Codovara closes in close. And here comes Tyler Schell. Schell up to third, inside, looking for second position from Pete Codovara as he is all over the back of Rusty Kruger. Kruger now dealing with people behind him, people below him.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
And Kruger had cars all over him. Tyler Schell looking down low, Codovara up high, and he was able to hold on to maintain the lead. Man, heck of a battle for the lead right now between Rusty Kruger, Tyler Schell, Pete Codovara, and Vinny Sansone. The top four just swapping sliders back and forth right now. And that is why I love these cars so much. They're so much fun to drive and race, man. If you can have some good drivers around you when it comes to racing these things on a track like this, any track, but when you have a racy track where you've got a bottom groove and a top groove, you can actually pass people. It's incredible.
All right, man. Light you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
Okay, something must have glitched here because our leader was Rusty Kruger.
All right, man.
Now,
Light you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
he is not in the lead. Up there he is. Okay. There we go. I was gonna say, I didn't think he wrecked. Alright, we are back under green as Rusty Kruger leads him down, followed by Tyler Schell, Pete Codovara, and Vinny Sansone. Schell goes for the lead in turn 3 on the bottom as Kruger's up top. Schell's got to run out of 4, lifts the front wheels up off the ground, giving Kruger the chance to come back up top. But Schell now, this time he makes it sick, pulls ahead of Kruger in turns 3 and 4, getting the lead on lap number 16. As Kruger fights back up top, but Schell working that bottom, definitely has it going. His car is hooked up and he is fast down there. So it's Schell, Kruger, Codovara, Sansone, and Shearman now in 5th, followed closely by Riley Gray, TJ Skymie, and Bruce Klingen. Billy Rowley's made his way up into the top 10, running 8th now. Remember, Rowley, he wrecked in his heat race while leading, came through the consolation. He's now up into the 7th place position as he gets around Sherm on the outside, and he sets his eyes on the cars in front of him of Rylan Gray and TJ Skymie. Back battling in 9th and 10th is Todd Labout and Bruce Klingen. These two seem to always find each other on the track in the non-wings. No matter where they're racing, it could be first or second, or 9th or 10th. They seem to be battling each other. And that looked like Rylan Gray got turned around there in turns 1 and 2. That's going to send him back. Tough break. He was running up towards the top 5 when that happened. But your leader, Tyler Schell, is followed by Rusty Kruger and Vinny Sansone. So Schell got the bottom working. I don't know if Kruger can get around him on the top. Schell seems to really be fast down there, and the top looks like it's going away, especially with everybody running it right now. I'll have to wait and see what happens here. There's only 10 laps to go when we go back under green.
Green flag,
All right,
green
we are
flag.
underway as Shell now jumps out to the lead, and this time Kruger follows him down on the bottom. So does Vinny Sansone in third, as Kodavara and Rally now up into the top 5 on the outside, looking to challenge Kodavara and Sansone, and Kruger's in the wall, and that's gonna slow up Rally's momentum and gonna drop Rusty Kruger to 4th, as TJ Skyme now hops up into the 5th place position. But Tyler Shell has jumped out to a fairly good sized lead here over 2nd place Vinny Sansone and Pete Kodavara in 3rd place. Shell working the bottom right above those tires. Oh, picks up the front end, almost catches the tire, able to save it there.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
As we have another caution on the track. And this is going to stack them back up, and with just 5 laps to go. All right, so gonna be 5 laps to go. Tyler Shell, your leader, followed by Pete Kodavara, Vinny Sansone, Rusty Kruger, and Billy Rowley. Up to 5th place as Shell now goes to the top. He'd been running the bottom all race, and now he's up on top, followed by Kodavara and Sansone. Sansone goes low, followed by Kruger, and Kodavara threads the needle between Shell and Sansone. Takes the lead. Shell goes back to the bottom, looking to get the run as he gets the run this time on Kodavara. Gets back in the lead as now Shell, Kodavara, Rally, and Sansone all battling for that top spot, as Shell on the bottom with Sansone behind him, Kodavara with Rally behind him up top. So 2 down low, 2 up top. Oh, and Kodavara gets loose,
All right, man,
coming
caution
out
is
of the
Caution is
corner.
out.
And that's going to bring out a caution. And that might be a lucky break for Petteri Kodavara, because that caution came out right when he was dropping back after that incident. So luckily for him, he's going to have a chance here to try to get back around Tyler Shell. Shell went up to the top, and Kodavara took advantage of it, was able to get around him, but when Shell went right back to the bottom, he got the lead back from Kodavara. So Shell, it'll be interesting to see if he tries that again. I don't think he will. I think he'll stick to the bottom. That's definitely where he's fastest right now, especially with only 2 laps to go. So Shell leads him down out of 4th. Shell, Kodavara right on his tail, and Rally up to 3rd. Kodavara and Rally go high. Shell on the bottom, just rolling the bottom. Got the lead. It's tight, really tight over Kodavara. As we come out of 4, lap 29, Shell hits the tire there, gets loose. That's going to let Kodavara get a run on the outside. So now Kodavara dives down. He slides up. Shell comes down and Rally's in the fence. And what a finish that was. Tyler Shell and Pete Kodavara. Shell crossing the line with his wheels in the air. That was incredible. And Petteri Kodavara was able to pull out a win over Tyler Shell by 5/100ths of a second. Man, that was incredible. So Your winner tonight, Pete Cotavara, followed by Tyler Shell and Vinny Sansone. That will round out your top 3. And then it's Rusty Kruger and Craig Sheeran in 5th, followed by Todd LeBaub, Joe Quinn, Justin Sherman, Larry Foster, and Kyle Madsen rounding out the top 10. And we've got Bruce Klingon, TJ Skyme, Billy Rowley falls to 13th after he'd worked his way all the way back up. Tough break. He was definitely fast tonight. Top 3 car. Caught the wall and dropped to 13th. And then Devin Thompson, Rylan Gray, Brandon Garman, Cale Howbett, Mace Herman, and Alex Luke. So we'll see if we get these guys in for an interview. Man, that was an incredible finish. You're right, Kyle. Well, I'll definitely have a picture of that tomorrow in the recap because that was incredible. That was absolutely incredible. To pull a wheel stand across the line like that, man, that was insane. In fact, while we're waiting for those guys, let's go back and look at that. Because that was amazing. I want to go back and see. Problem is, I don't know how to work this thing. Let's go back and look. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay, Pete Cotavara and Tyler Shell. And they come down. Tyler picking up the front wheels. That was awesome. That was awesome across the start-finish line. Man, what a finish. What a finish. That was incredible. So, we've got, it looks like Tyler Shell, second place driver here in the booth. Tyler, do you hear me? Yeah, dude. Heck of a race, man. You were definitely fast on the bottom. Just got edged out by Pete at the end there with your wheels coming up off the ground. What were you trying to do there those last couple of laps, and how was it working for you? Yeah, you were definitely fast on the bottom. A couple of times you did go up to the top. Were you just trying a different line, or were you trying to block them, or what were you trying to do when you would do that? Well, man, you had a heck of a run tonight. Came home second, got edged out by just 5/100ths of a second, man. So awesome run tonight. Before you go, do you have any friends, family, sponsors you want to thank? All right, man. Well, Tyler Shell, your second place finisher tonight. Tyler, awesome run, man. Thank you very much, and hope to talk to you next week. Yep. All right, our winner, Pete Cotavara. Pete, you there? Pete, awesome finish tonight, man. You got Tyler Shell by literally 500ths of a second. What were you trying to do those last few laps, and how did you make it work? Yeah, and I saw you throughout the race trying to run the top, trying to run the bottom. What was the track out there like tonight? Cool. Well, man, you had a heck of a run tonight, dude. So pulled out the win, like I said, by just a couple hundredths of a second over Tyler Shell. So Pete Codavara, you're a winner. Pete, before you go, do you got any friends, family, sponsors you want to thank?
I gotta thank you all, the SSR group, and especially you and Jordan for making this broadcast. Am I right?
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's so nice to have this broadcast, and especially the league, Bruce, and everybody who's doing these leagues like non-wing and all the SSR crew. And of course, gotta thank my friends and all the drivers in the race. We had hell of a race.
Yes, you did. Well, thank you very much. There you guys go. Pete Codavara, your winner tonight in the NARC non-wing 410 sprint cars. Pete, heck of a race, man. Hope to talk to you next week.
Yeah, thank you. And also gotta thank my team, Black Star Racing. Those guys, they aren't doing that much dirt, but they are always to support me and watch my races, watch the broadcasts and everything. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you, Pete. Glad to have you on the dirt side, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too, guys. Thank you.
All right, everybody. So that's going to do it. Once again, Pete Codavara edges out Tyler Shell for the win in the NARC non-wing 410 sprint cars by the School of Sim Race. Rounding out your top five, Vinny Sansone in third, Rusty Kruger in fourth, followed by Craig Sheeran. So, everybody, that will do it. Thank you very much for coming out and joining us here on the Esports Racing Network. My name is Thomas Brandon. Hope you enjoyed it. I know it was probably rough. I know there was some technical issues, but next time we do it, whenever that is, it will be better. That I can promise. So, thank you as always, and until next time, as always, good luck